Okay, good Wednesday, all you cats and kittens. We are on the rock cycle. The last section I think I'm going to do before I kind of test you over this material. So we highlighted and read this, and I'm just going to go over the questions. If you take a look at the website, the lesson plan says that we're supposed to check over the questions and then take notes. So that's what we're going to do today. So I have, let's see, over here, the question is, I'm going to go over it in marker as I read it because I know it's hard to see. How could small pieces of the Himalayas then form new rock after it was weathered and eroded off of the mountaintop over millions of years? And I think that they can get pressed together and form new rock. Now, if you have something different, I'd love to hear what you have to say if you kind of come to our Google Meet on Friday so that we can discuss our rock stories. And don't worry about that. That's something that's going to be assigned on that Friday. But I'd love to hear your answers. Okay, over here, number the materials that move through the rock cycle at Stone Mountain in the sequence given in the text. Now, really any kind of sequence can happen, but the question is telling you that it definitely wants you to go over here and find what happened. And after, we can see here that Stone Mountain is made of granite. And then after years, it starts to wear away, it goes down. So then after millions of years, the sand pile up. And then eventually down here, it becomes quartzite. So you should have over here 213. You can mark it wrong and write the right answer here. So you don't have to show me these answers. You don't, if you take a picture of them, that's fine, but you don't necessarily have to show them. This is to see what you remember in the text. So as shown in the photograph, trees can grow in the mountain and their roots break up the granite. What step of the rock cycle? Remember, weathering. Weathering is when you break it down. If you had weathering and erosion, that's okay, but I always consider erosion when it goes away, when it falls into the water. But the actual breaking down part, the breaking up part is weather. And that's hard to do according to Neil Sedaka. You won't get that joke, but perhaps your parents will. Okay, does the rock cycle stop after the quartzite has been formed? No, no, no. I'm going to answer the question. And then when it says explain, so I'm going to go ahead and be as complete as I can. And I'm going to say that it can melt into igneous rock eventually after it cools again. So you could say it could melt and cool into igneous rock, or it could weather once again into sediment. And then what happens if we keep baking it or keep pressurizing, putting a lot of pressure on quartzite? What would be the next metamorphic rock? But I covered that, I answered it, and I gave 2 examples when it could turn into something else. Okay, see how easy this is? It's not very long. I kind of looked at this, studied the diagram, and it says to fill it in with melting, weathering, and erosion, or heat and pressure. So you have 3 possible answers, and they even give you a little shortcut here to just use W and E. Aren't directions just fabulous? All right, so anything that's breaking up into small pieces, I know breaking up is W and E, weathering and erosion. So if it's breaking up, it's weathering and erosion. And if it is being pressured and bent like this actually and becoming metamorphic rock, it says here heat and pressure. And if you have kind of caught on now, the color of this is the same color of this. So if igneous rock, like granite, becomes quartzite, then it must be heat and pressure. you are going to see this. I'm going to give you a double-sided review for the rock cycle section, and you're going to see this picture on there. Okay, so then in order to become metamorphic rock, and you're going to come over here, it looks like it's going to get really hot and melt. Volcanic activity then is going to become igneous rock, and look at this one. This is headed there, so this must be melting, right? That is at theta rate melting. So once again, igneous rock can actually remelt and become another igneous rock, so I'm going to write melting here too. Then I'm going to double check and make sure I don't have any blanks, and we're good. I'm going to come over here, this idea of the rock cycle and plate tectonics. I want to let you know that this is something that's hit really heavy in 8th grade, and why don't you impress your teachers and know that plate tectonics is like graham crackers floating on that chocolate pudding. So over here, new rock forms on the ocean floor at the mid-Atlantic ridge. Here, 2 plates move apart. So I'm going to take a look at this. It's actually, we are sort of supposed to be getting closer to Hawaii and farther away from Europe, about 2 centimeters every year, because of the plate that we're on is actually moving this way and England is moving that way. So since I'm looking at what kind of rock forms at A, it definitely looks like it's molten material. So I'm going to igneous. And how can a rock that is formed in the mid-Atlantic ridge be changed then into sedimentary rock? Well, obviously in the mid-Atlantic ridge, you're underwater. So if the water, or if water weathers it into sediment, it would then eventually fall here, get layered upon layered upon layered on, maybe end up in here somewhere, and it would be a sedimentary rock. If it got too close to this, it would bake and become metamorphic. It might end up back in there and become igneous again. So here you see the rock cycle happening. So the rock cycle builds, destroys, and changes the rocks in the earth. There's crust and core. So crust can be like the Earth's surface and also, you know, kind of in there. How do rocks form? And now I know that because of the rock cycle, they form in 3 ways. I could say molten material, or here I wrote magma, or lava, cooling. Now you have an igneous rock. I could have sediment. I just continued up here, getting pressed together and cemented, etc. Or changed, or rocks getting changed by, what 2 of the processes again? It's actually in the word metamorphic, getting changed by heat or pressure. It does not have to be exactly my wording. It's better, and you'll remember it better if it's in your wording. If you didn't do it at all and you're just copying mine, it's better than leaving it blank. However, it'll be a little bit harder to remember. Okay, then the last thing we're going to do is write some notes. And here they are. The last one, 3-6, is the rock cycle. And the rock cycle is a series of processes that change the rocks from one kind to another. And that is actually what goes right in our notes. So I think it is number 18. I think I numbered it right. I didn't double check that though. Then the next one would be plate movements, or that word tectonics, help the rock cycle to form what? The source of igneous rocks. of igneous rocks. So I'm going to go back in the book. So many of us don't do that. And let's see where it says about things moving here. Well, it says plate tectonics, that changes the rock cycle, closely related. Plate movements help drive the rock cycle by helping to form magma, the source of igneous rocks. Because magma, it's first, and then when it comes out, it's lava. I thought maybe it was over here, but I am going to write magma. If it was on a review question, I might go back in that book and look at it like that. Number 20, the law of conservation. Now, you guys got to start using, like, I want you to start putting, like, this word must mean save and protect. And organic means alive. There's certain words you're going to see again and again and again, whether you're into chemistry, biology, physics. These words kind of, you'll see a lot. So, I am going to fill this in. It says the law of conservation of material means that nothing, no rock, nothing is lost or gained. And I want you to realize that these forces act inside and on the Earth's surface or at the Earth's surface. So you can pause the video if you need to be able to write that down. Probably estimate what we're going to do tomorrow. Thursday, we're going to do that review sheet. That's front and back. But we haven't had any papers really to do for a couple of days. So that's good. It's just listening and writing some notes. And then on Friday, I'm going to introduce a mini project for you to do that you're going to have Friday. And then you could have Saturday and Sunday to work on it if you want. And Monday, that's what I'm going to have you do. So I may not post a video on Monday except to say hi. So have a good Wednesday, you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Hey guys, log on to, if you go to the Hubbard website and you log on to the 7th and 8th grade science help, that's me. So it will bring you to me, and we will have a Google Meet if you have any questions about today's stuff. Okay? So, thank you, and have a nice Wednesday.